The distress signal reached the Galactic Rescue Coordination Center as a desperate whisper across the void. Ambassador Ennis of the Ethereal Collective barely managed to activate the emergency beacon before their luxury cruiser Serenity's Grace was pulled into the gravity well of Keth 9, a nightmare world that existed on every civilized species. Never visit list. Emergency protocol activated, the AI coordinator announced across all frequencies. Rescue mission classification, extreme hazard. Keth 9 environmental factors, gravity 3.7 times galactic standard, atmospheric pressure sufficient to crush most species, indigenous predators classified as existentially hostile. Surface temperature variations exceeding survivable parameters for 94% of known species. In the Rescue Coordination Chamber, representatives from a dozen species reviewed the mission parameters with growing dread. The Vithrak, masters of environmental adaptation, declared their exosuits insufficient. The Zenthari, renowned for their rescue operations, calculated a survival probability of 0.3%. The mechanical Silex Empire's robots would be crushed within minutes of planetfall. This is impossible, declared Rescue Coordinator Vexhal, his crystalline form resonating with defeat. No known technology can survive Keth 9's surface conditions long enough to mount a rescue. We must accept that the ethereals are lost. That's when the human delegate stood up. Captain Maria Santos had been quietly observing from the back of the chamber, largely ignored by the other species as representatives of the newest and most primitive member of the galactic community. Most civilized races viewed humans as curiosities, bipedal mammals from a planet so hostile that merely describing Earth's conditions violated several species' medical safety protocols. "We'll take the mission," Maria announced, her voice cutting through the resigned murmur of impossibility. The chamber fell silent. Coordinator Vexhal's crystalline structure flickered with what might have been confusion. "Excuse me, Human Santos, but perhaps you misunderstood. This is Keth 9. The gravity alone would liquefy most organic beings. The atmospheric pressure." "Sounds like a Tuesday," Maria interrupted, consulting her tactical tablet. "We can have a rescue team deployed within 6 hours." The Vithrak representative's environmental suit shuddered. "Human Santos, with all due respect to your species' enthusiasm, this is not a matter of courage. This is physics. No biological organism can survive Keth 9. Maria smiled, an expression that most species found disturbing, showing far too many predatory teeth. "Coordinator Vexhal, what exactly do your files say about Earth's classification?" Vexhal accessed the galactic database, his form dimming as he processed the information. "Earth is classified as, oh my." "Read it out loud," Maria suggested. "Earth is classified as a Class X." 6 hours later, the human rescue ship Indomitable dropped out of hyperspace near Keth 9. Unlike the sleek, elegant vessels of other species, the human ship looked like a flying fortress, armor-plated, over-engineered, and built to survive anything the universe could throw at it. On the bridge, Lieutenant Commander Jake Reeves reviewed the mission brief with his team. "All right, people, standard extraction. Keth 9's gravity is about 3.7 Gs, that's like working out in the station's high-grav gym. Atmospheric pressure's a bit much, but nothing our suits can't handle. Local wildlife includes some kind of crystalline predators that hunt in packs." Sergeant First Class Elena Vasquez, the team's heavy weapons specialist, checked her gear. "How big are these predators, sir?" "About the size of a city bus. Moves fast, shoots crystal spikes, and apparently views everything as prey." "Standard Tuesday, then," Elena confirmed. Dr. Chunwei, the team medic, was reviewing the ethereal physiology data. "The aliens we're rescuing are from a low-gravity, low-pressure world. They're probably in severe physiological distress just from Keth 9's environmental conditions, assuming they're still alive." "They're alive," Maria said with certainty. "Ethereals are tough, just not tough like us. Reeves, take your team down. Standard gear, but pack extra medical supplies. These folks are going to need some serious help." The drop pod punched through Keth 9's atmosphere like a meteor, its heat shields glowing white-hot as it descended. Inside, the human rescue team rode the turbulence with casual indifference. Earth's weather had prepared them for atmospheric conditions that would shred most spacecraft. "Touchdown in 30 seconds, announced pilot Sarah Kim over the comm. "Landing zone looks clear, but I'm picking up movement about 2 clicks south." "Big movement." The pod slammed into Keth 9's surface with a force that would have killed most galactic species. The humans inside absorbed the impact with barely a grunt. Move out, Reeves ordered as the pod's armored doors blasted open. The team emerged into a hell's cape that lived up to every horror story told about Deathworlds. The gravity pulled at them like a living thing, the atmospheric pressure tried to compress their bodies, and the air itself seemed to burn with environmental hostility. Around them, a landscape of razor-sharp crystal formations stretched toward a sky filled with predatory shapes circling like vultures. "Contact," Elena announced, shouldering her plasma rifle. "Crystalline predators bearing 270. They've noticed us." The creatures that emerged from the crystal formations would have sent most galactic species into immediate psychological collapse. Each one was the size of a tank covered in razor-sharp crystalline armor and moved with the fluid grace of an apex predator. They communicated through harmonic resonances that shattered nearby rocks and began advancing on the humans. With obvious hostile intent. "Rules of engagement?" Elena asked conversationally. "Standard protocol," Reeves replied, checking his scanner for the ethereal life signs. "We're here to rescue, not sightsee. Put them down." The battle was brief and decisive. The crystalline predators, evolved to be the ultimate apex predators of their death world, discovered that there were some things even apex predators didn't hunt. The humans moved through the hostile environment like they owned it, their weapons designed for conflicts that would have been classified as planetary warfare by most species standards. 20 minutes later, they reached the crash site where the Serenity's grace lay broken among the crystal formations. Inside, they found Ambassador Tilenus and their diplomatic party barely alive, their elegant forms crushed by gravity and pressure that their species had never evolved to handle. "Medical emergency," Dr. Chen announced, immediately beginning treatment. "Severe gravity sickness, pressure trauma, and what looks like environmental shock. They're alive, but barely. Can you stabilize them for transport?" Reeves asked, while Elena maintained overwatch for more predators. "Give me 10 minutes. As Dr. Chin worked to save beings whose physiology was as fragile as spun glass, the rest of the team held the perimeter against a planet that was actively trying to kill everything on its surface. For them, it was just another day at the office. 12 hours later, in the medical bay of the indomitable, Ambassador Tilenus awakened to find themselves alive, stable, and surrounded by the beings the galaxy had dismissed as primitive newcomers. "Human Santos," the ethereal whispered, their voice like wind chimes in a gentle breeze, "my species owes yours a debt beyond calculation." How did you survive that world?" Maria sat beside the medical bed, her presence somehow comforting despite everything the galaxy said about Deathworlders. "Ambassador, Earth isn't just our homeworld, it's our basic training. Every day we survive on Earth, we're surviving conditions that would kill most of the galaxy. When you needed someone to walk into hell and bring you back, you needed someone who calls hell home." The ethereal's form shimmered with something that might have been understanding. "The galaxy fears you, Human Santos. They call you Deathworlders like it's a curse." "Maybe it is," Maria acknowledged. "But sometimes when everything else fails, you need someone who's been cursed by survival itself. Someone who learned to laugh at death before they learned to walk." As the Indomitable jumped to hyperspace carrying its rescued passengers to safety, word of the human rescue spread throughout the galaxy. The species that the galactic community had dismissed as crude newcomers had just accomplished what every other civilization declared impossible. And for the first time, the galaxy began to understand that maybe, just maybe, the Deathworlders weren't the primitives they appeared to be. They were the survivors the universe had been waiting for.